There was once a woman who believed she could build her own universe. Every step she took shimmered with ambition, the kind that turns heads and changes rooms. She was brilliant, disciplined, unstoppable. And somewhere along the way, she began to believe she was untouchable. She started from nothing. A whisper of a dream. A heart that had been overlooked one too many times. So she built herself, piece by piece, into the kind of woman the world could no longer ignore. People called her confident. They said she had that spark, that power, that aura of "I know who I am." And she did, for a while. But power is intoxicating. And ego whispers things that sound like truth. You don't need anyone. They're jealous of you. You're the only one who really understands how things should be done. She started believing it. She started feeding it. And slowly, her strength became armor, not protection from the world, but separation from it. The higher she rose, the fewer voices she allowed near her. She called it boundaries. She called it focus. But it was fear of being small again. Fear of not being in control. So she silenced others to stay loud within herself. But when your worth depends on how high you stand, you live terrified of the fall. She didn't know it yet. But the same ego that lifted her was quietly building her cage. Every empire looks invincible until the cracks start showing. For her, it didn't happen all at once. It started with silence. Calls that went unanswered. Projects that no longer thrilled her. People who quietly walked away. At first, she thought, they can't handle me. Later, she wondered, can I even handle myself? Ego doesn't crash loudly. It erodes slowly. Until one day, the reflection that once looked powerful starts to look unfamiliar. The success was still there, the money, the praise. But when the noise faded, there was no joy left in the echo. Ego feeds on control. And when life takes that control away, even for a moment, it panics. A deal fell through. A friend walked away. Suddenly, the world didn't revolve around her voice anymore. She tried to push harder, to prove she was still that woman. But the harder she pushed, the more empty she felt. The same strength that once saved her was now destroying her, because she used it to avoid vulnerability. That night, she wrote, "I don't know who I am without my accomplishments. I built everything to be seen, but I no longer see myself." The mirror had broken, not because she failed, but because she forgot who was behind the reflection. The fall of ego isn't destruction. It's exposure. It's when validation was your oxygen, and you realize you've been holding your breath for years. After every storm, there is silence. And in that silence, she finally heard herself again. For the first time in years, she didn't wake up to conquer the world. She woke up just to be. No goals. No audience. No mask. Just her, and the woman she had forgotten to love. The ego she once served had broken apart. And from its ruins, something softer began to rise. It wasn't confidence that returned first, it was honesty. She began admitting the things she used to hide behind strength. I'm scared. I'm tired. I miss the girl I used to be. It was messy, it was human, and it was real. Humility gave her back what ego had stolen, connection. Being powerful wasn't about standing above others, but standing with them. She stopped proving her worth and started living it. Because true power isn't loud, it's quiet. It's the peace that stays when everything else leaves. The same mirror that once reflected her ego now reflected her evolution. She saw the scars and smiled. Because she had learned the greatest truth of all. To truly rise, you must first be willing to fall. Ego built her empire. Humility built her soul. And in that sacred balance, between strength and surrender, she became unstoppable. Not because she had power, but because she had peace. Maybe this is your story too. Maybe you've worn confidence like armor, while your heart whispered for rest. So ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped trying to prove you're enough, and started believing you already are? Because the woman who rises after her ego falls, she's not the same. She's wiser, softer, stronger, free. Ego built her empire. Humility built her soul.